Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get
what's going on, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and y'all are tuned in to another episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast, where the name speaks for itself, man. And as y'all can see, I'm here with my brother Keith Stoke, already in the building, and I got two other brothers sitting here, as y'all can see, man, and we finna get into it tonight because
he'll be full of surprises.
Look, man, I'm excited. I'm excited because this topic, what we're gonna cover, is basically something that we've been kind of dealing with for years, especially in the rap game, and that's that dynamic of the old school versus the new school.
Right.
And we're gonna try to have conversation that bridges that gap, because what we see a lot is we see a lot of the old school cats, man, these young dudes, they don't respect nobody. Hey, this generation ain't right. And then the young people like, well, man, y'all ain't doing nothing for us either. So it's a bunch of animosity that we gotta fix if we gonna move forward and have the power that we really, the power don't come without the unity.
Right.
I'm honored, man, to have one of the OGs of all OGs.
All OGs, man.
Sitting next to me, man. I mean, this brother right here, man. I mean, first of all, we go back 35 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We met in the late 80s.
Right.
And this brother, from singing, producing, promoting, dancing, and being in my opinion, being definitely a comedian. But also, in my opinion, even though he would never give himself this label, just an activist. Because he speaks on a lot of topics that really need to be spoke on, and he gonna speak on it in an unapologetic way. So my brother, man, who is responsible for producing some of the greatest hits that ever come out this city, man, and abroad, big brother Jhiame is in the building, man, straight up.
Oh, man, thank y'all.
What's up to you?
Repping for the old school.
Thank y'all. I really appreciate you. You know that we go way back, man, and I'm just glad to be in the house, glad to be part of the movement and what we trying to do now. Yeah. Not from yesterday, what we trying to do now.
You roll into the fabric, man.
Right.
And to his left, man, we had to have somebody that's gonna represent that newer generation. Even though my brother, he ain't a baby. Yeah. He ain't a baby, but
90s baby.
But see,
91 baby.
And see, that's my point. Right. See, he's a 90s baby. Right. So to people like me and Jhiame, he's a youngster.
Yeah,
you know
he's a genius.
And he's been in this thing for a minute as well, man. Great performer, great artist, and up and coming.
Right.
In my opinion, man.
It's your boy Poster, man.
Post in the building, man. Post child, man. Let them know what you been doing, family.
Man, I've been on new albums. I just put one out called Poster Child Reloaded.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got some classics on there. I've been performing a whole bunch. So man, shout out to Scoutboy, man. They really put the rug under my feet, man, and got me running. So I'm working on some new material, some new music. I got some new merch out, everything on the way. We actually got a show this Friday. Shout out to KO. We're doing something on Black Friday, so I'm really excited to get back out here and get back active.
Man, no question, man. Well, we happy to have y'all here because, again, we're going to start the conversation off just talking about how for years, since hip-hop been around, 50 years now? Something like that, coming up on 50 years.
Got to be.
Now we have something that we didn't have early on in hip-hop. We have different generations that have been born into the game. And so now from the era that we come from all the way up into now, we starting to see tensions here and now between maybe a lot of old school art. We just saw the thing this past week where 21 Savage said that Nas was irrelevant. And did y'all hear about that?
Yeah.
And so that caused a big uproar, as y'all know, because all of the old school people that, that love Nas, they're like, wait a minute. But I'm going to speak my opinion on that before I let y'all get into it. I heard what he said. He was on the Clubhouse thing, and I heard what he said. I don't really think that he meant it like that. and I could be wrong. Y'all disagree with me. Do not hesitate to speak on it. But he used the word irrelevant, but I felt like he didn't mean it like that, because he went on to say that Nas had a strong fan base, that Nas still made good music.
Yeah, he gave him his flowers.
Yeah, he gave him his flowers, but it seemed like it's kind of was like, yeah, I'm gonna hug you, and I'm gonna punch upside the head at the same time. But I don't think he meant it like that. I want to start with you, Poster. What did you get out of that when you heard him say that? First of all, how'd you feel about it, and what you get out of it when you heard him say that?
See, I'm like a middle child, because I respect and I get a lot of my influence from the old school artists.
Yeah.
But you know, I see where the game went to now. But how I felt about it when he said it, everybody was going to interpret it the wrong way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this new wave, everybody trying to get money, and that's basically what it is. It's the hottest thing out. What did you do lately? Yeah. You know, and a lot of these young cats and cats around my age that are putting out music, they don't really respect the legends, because you see, nowadays it's just a popularity contest. So I didn't like how he said it, because I listened to a lot of Nas. Yeah. And you know, Nasir Jones, man, one of the best artists ever, especially out of New York, the East Coast. But honestly, I think that what he said was interpreted the wrong way. Yeah. You know, people like, hold on, man, this is a legend. Mm-hmm. He understands that. Yeah. He understands that's a legend, but he just, you know what I'm saying, the new school kids get it, yeah. And we get what he was saying, that when he's saying he's not relevant, is he's not like mainstream, he's not in demand. Nobody's demanding a feature, nothing from him. So I believe that's what he meant. Versus
nobody in their generation.
And nobody in their generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a lot of artists that are timeless, so you know, and he's one of them.
I can't wait.
Go ahead, Jhiame. Go ahead. I want to get the younger generation in first. What you felt about that when you heard that?
And I wanted to hear what he said, and hey, well put. When me and you was coming up in this game, right? Our respect was exuberant, because we know in order to get even further and further in this game, you have to give respect in order to get it. Mm-hmm. Now, we may have had our high moments, but we never, it's saying, okay, let's put it in perspective. Him saying that about Nas, and it's only one way to mean that. Yeah. But him saying that about Nas is equivalent to me saying that about Al Green when I was blowing up in my head. Me saying that about Quincy Jones on the production side. You saying that about Ron.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Curtis Blow.
Right.
Cause he ain't hot enough. If it wasn't for Curtis Blow, we wouldn't even probably be talking about rap right now. Right. So when you the disrespect is so blatant, and that's why a lot of them don't know the history, because they not even trying to find out. See, if you don't know the history, then you sure don't know not to say that. Yeah. You know, right. If you don't know the history, there was a time you said that in hip hop, you'd be outcast off the muscle. So it just shows more about that this music that they're projecting is not the solidarity that it should be. Because if you stand on something, you stand on something, but you definitely want to respect the pavement of the road that came before you. And if you don't have that, I promise you, one of these days you're gonna probably be saying 21 Savage who.
Let me ask you this. Because you said history. So, what role, I guess accountability do we have as the old school to be more active in pushing and perpetuating, exposing that history? Because I guess if a person says, well, Nas ain't relevant, then maybe they don't know.
They don't.
What's our role? Who's to blame for him not knowing that he can't say, he shouldn't say that? Who's to blame?
First of all,
besides him.
First of all, it's not a blame thing, really. It's actually like when you get into any business or any game, you're not gonna get in that game and not know something about that game and not know something about the history. That's up to the young G's that's trying to do this music anyway. And we do have those. We have youngsters that walks up to me, you know, in certain places and, man, I did a research on you. Now I know why you talk like you talk. Mm-hmm. So we have those, and shout out to the young cats that do seek the knowledge to know who we are. But us on one hand, we was, a lot of us was ostracized, like, excluded. So when they wrote the book about Houston, about Houston rap, all the way wrong. Wicked Cricket wasn't even in there. So when you got stuff like that happening in this city of Houston, where I'm from Memphis, you had to get your head took out if you didn't write stuff in the right, proper, manner. But here it's more like we accept, we receive, we let them take our culture and just, and so that's why a lot of the young cats don't.
Hey, that's a good point too. Sometimes when those documentary and all those cats come down to do documentaries, features, like, but again, it's up to anybody. See, I can't let nobody come down here and do a documentary on Houston and then they talk. Even if they talking to me, I gotta say, hey man, have y'all contacted Jhiame?
Right. See, that's not happening.
So if we don't do that, then we got to be held accountable. Now, so you said you a middle child, right?
Right.
So how old is you got an older brother or older sister?
No, I'm saying I'm a middle child, like when it comes to the new school.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
But do you have older siblings, older brothers?
Yeah, I got older siblings. I got a couple. One's 5 years older, one's 10 years older.
So did they give you any exposure to like the music that came a little bit before your time? Did you get a taste of that?
Absolutely, and my parents definitely just did too. You know what I'm saying? From Rakim and everybody.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, we old enough to be your parents. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. I'm talking about brothers and sisters. I should have been saying mom and dad.
Right.
No, definitely. You know what I'm saying? There was a bunch of 90s music, even the 80s artists being played in my house at all times.
Right.
My mom's playing everybody from the 70s and all that. Looking around the house playing people from the 70s.
Right.
And, a lot of H-Town too, Charlie Boy and Tight and all them, when they was together earlier. So yeah, I definitely, I like some of the new school music. Yeah. But a lot of it's like drill rap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gravitating towards the same style. So, and like I said, when my influence comes from those who were like the artists in the 90s.
Right.
So that's why I say I'm a middle child. Like, I get my influence from this.
Right.
Yeah,
but I still, what I'm saying? When I go out and I go out to the bar, I listen to the new
in
stuff.
both worlds.
Right.
You can operate in both worlds.
Right. I know me as an 80s baby from Houston. Until we interviewed you, I didn't even know you had did that much for the stuff that I've already was jamming from growing up. So sometimes their research is on us to do, or to put yourself in positions to where you can find out some of these things.
Right. My assistant, been rolling with me recently. She said a main thing. Shouts out to you, Fox, for that. But she said the problem is, and she from the middle too. She said the problem is that a lot of the rappers didn't even say our name on records. That they didn't know. So a lot of you go up there in New York. Who did this beat? Swiss Beats, You don't hear Jhiame.
There's no shout outs no more. Yeah.
So they didn't do that, and I refuse to do. This is a Jhiame beat for my beat come on, because my beat should let you distinguish who I am. But we had that, and we had what I'm saying, exclusion. Like, let's keep them over there. So when them documentaries come down, they don't mention you.
Now, do the artists have anything to do with
that's what I'm talking
as
about?
well? Okay.
I'm talking about there are upper tier of artists that's doing an exclusion.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the bar to be set up. You look at this man.
Yeah.
Man, this not to compare him to nobody, but if you were gonna say the DMX of Houston, this the DMX of Houston.
I done seen you live many times.
Real talk.
I done seen him live.
Real talk. I'm talking about
straight up
whole rapper, top tier rapper.
Yeah.
In the culture, but in the other part of it, can't let you up here. You know what I'm saying? So we have that, and people don't believe it, but they're actually doing that. They actually excluding, not mentioning us, not giving credence to what we've given to the game, and they do it a lot. So when we can remove that, and I feel like as us, we continue to work, and now it ain't no age put on rap. when we can remove that from Houston, we're gonna be top down.
And when you talk
It'll
about
be a
no
top-down
age
place.
put on rap,
Mhm.
that's a big thing to mention because I can remember just a few short years, maybe 10, 12 years
It
ago.
wasn't even that long.
It was
I
more
know
saying
what you're
about
talking
like, oh man, you too old to be rapping.
It wasn't that long.
You
About
need-
5 years
You don't
ago.
need to be rapping. And I used to always say, well, you know what? As a younger artist, if you keep waking up in the morning, the time
You
come
gonna
when
be there.
You're gonna look in that mirror one day, you're gonna see a few little grays sneaking in on you, and you're gonna realize that even though now I'm 42, I'm 39, I'm still cold. I still got my skills. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta bridge that gap again of not going against each other because he old or he too young. Because I don't think that the young people, a lot of them give a lot of credit, but it's a lot of them that don't.
Right.
But I think a lot of our older generation, they don't give the young people the chance either
Right.
to kind of see if they got that kind of respect. You being in the middle,
Right.
what's your assessment of it being somebody who, like you say, you connected to the old school, but you still deal with a lot of those young artists too as well? Do you, those conversations that y'all have, or you just kind of just like, I'm gonna just do me?
I'm more or less so I'm just gonna do me. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know the history.
Yeah.
They refuse to know the history. Like I said, it's a fashion show now. They got all these kids dropping out of school because anybody that think they can put together a couple rhymes, and do something on TikTok or do something on Triller.
Yeah.
Anybody that think they can do something, everybody get to lighten it up. You know, that's what I think the fans are a part of the blame too.
Yeah. How so? How so?
Because the fans they gravitate towards somebody that ain't really got their heart in it. They just doing it because they seen somebody else do it. They put together some bars on Facebook.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody's sharing it. But you know, but you don't know. This dude ain't really talking. He don't really do the stuff he talking about.
Yeah.
He doing it for those few minutes of fame, and now next thing you know, he got an album that came out.
And if he
Now, you know what
is,
I'm
some
saying?
of this stuff terrible. You doing that, shame on you. Some of that
But
stuff.
you got to blame the listeners too. There's a lot of listeners that need to be held accountable as to what's real, as to who's real, and what's being said. You know.
Yeah, hip hop used to be like that. It used to really be like that. But as we can sit here now, you know, young cats see us in concert, and I know they done came up to you, came up to me. Man, I ain't never
Came up to
seen
you.
that.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen it. So, if anything in my day, if a dude was good, I want to see him on that stage. I want to get to learn from him. We don't have that. We don't have those youngsters because they can go on TikTok or go on anything and just blow up.
The fans don't do their research on who this person is no more.
Right, and when they come
don't care.
when they come to showcases, you know, we just had this recently with the Harvey Love showcase.
Right.
I went outside to stop them. Hey man, why y'all leaving as soon as y'all get through performing? Because I saw you on stage. You don't have a stage show, so it'd be good if you would come and look at some of the veterans. So you can learn how to do a stage show.
That's a hell of a point. Let's talk about that for a minute, because you got what just I ain't talking about young or old now. I'm talking about a lot of artists, period. Because what makes an artist that they haven't even established themselves yet, but they get on the show, and if they go on early while the crowd is thick and big, then all of a sudden, soon as you get through, you leave.
Yeah.
What is the benefit of that when there's so much more, like Jhiame said, that you can learn from just sticking around?
That's what a showcase for.
And it's disrespectful. Because the same way that you had people looking at you and giving you that energy, now you're removing that, you're removing yourself from that equation and say, well, I done did mine, I'm good, I'm gone.
I see that happen a lot, and I've had shows where you know, there'll be an artist up there and he'd have no crowd. And then the people that came in to see me, you know what I'm saying, we'd be there supporting them because they'd be good. They just don't have a promotion, or they don't know how to get people to come out.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, but some of those people coming in with their funky ass crowd, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as they done, them and their whole crowd leave.
That's because they don't want them to see.
But that's a moment. But you gotta look. even afterwards, after
How
you do
far
that, after
they
you do
went
your
from-
performance, that's a moment you could be networking with somebody
All
else.
of that, all of that.
That's
Come on,
coming
all
from
of that.
wisdom. A lot of times with social media, they done got their shot already.
Right.
And then this social media thing makes you feel, or makes them feel like they the star already. So once they perform with that that packed crowd, and they got it on camera already, what is there to stay for?
That's where they mind is. But see, that's the problem. That's what killed. That's what killed. I mean, man, let me tell you something. Blues got killed because of no growth. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't stick it out and learn stuff and you grow so you can teach the next one over that's coming, then sooner or later hip hop gonna be that thing that kind of lingers on. It can happen. So that's why right now it's imperative that we get the young G's to come together with us, work with us. Yeah, you know, man, we got ragged when we was little. Hey, man, this ain't no punk game.
Yeah.
You know, we got ragged. That's how you filth out. That's why when certain cats come on here and they say, you know, I'm finna quit the music business, I say, good. See what I'm saying? We don't need it. Because if you that weak, that's what we like about this game. It weeds out those kind. And sooner or later, even with their success on, as you see, on a lot of them, with their success on this, then they keep doing these bad shows. Then all of a sudden they move on to the next dude. Because your shows, you might have been a good recorder, you know, you did a good performance on record, but when you come in and do a show, you suck. So sooner or later they move on to that next person. But what we need us to do is to kind of get in the room together, have a mixer or something, and say, man, you know, this is what we need to work on our relationship with the young art. And really, I wouldn't. He's all right, you know what I'm saying. We really need talking about the ones with the green hair and stuff like that. So we need to get with them and kind of get a understanding. We ain't gonna knock what you do, because I used to dress androgynous. I was doing Prince and all kind of stuff. But I'm just trying to tell y'all, you know, that's why we have to have some of this stuff, because the shows are not good. So I need to attract you to something. But now let's try to work on showing you how to get in front of that mirror and learn your lyrics. So when you rap your lyrics on top of your lyrics, which he don't do, but when you rap your lyrics on top of your lyrics, at least you on point with your lyrics and you know how to do it.
What about old school ciphers? Just getting back to the point where they used to build so much respect for just artists in general. Just get in the room and just, what you got? I got
just
this.
live.
Just doing that again.
Well, the people that's making it in the rap game now, and I can honestly say from what I'm hearing, not just what I'm hearing in the shows and stuff, a lot of them is not rappers, or not really what you call it in the art form. It's just, you know, they're on the bag. And I'm not knocking none of that. But it comes a point when you get the bag, you gonna have to step your game up. A lot of them done it. Cardi B and a lot of them. You have to step your game up. If you want to stay with the bag and stay in the game, you got to step your game up. And a lot of them don't want to do that.
How do you tell somebody?
Go ahead, keep going.
I was gonna say, how do you tell somebody to do that when they're making money off of mumble rap? Or they're making money and they're saying, well, the lyrics ain't really that important. You know, it's the vibe.
You show them the dude before them about 5-10 years earlier or 6 years earlier, when he didn't take his craft for real. Now he's wishing he was taking. Like one of them is Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? One of them, you look at him, you like he wish he was still able to, you know what I'm saying, grab everybody like he used to. But if you don't step your game up, which he didn't do, he basically just, you know, kept it where he was at. If you don't step your game up, you're gonna be a lost fixture anyway.
And then the flip side of that, I say Gucci Mane.
That too.
When Gucci Mane came in, it was
that too.
But now
you hear him, you be going
lyrical as hell.
You say some stuff. Hey man, certain artists did not grow, and you hear them today, and you go, man, what is? Because then you start questioning yourself why you were listening to him in the first place. You go back to his old stuff. Wait a minute, that wasn't that jam. That's how I've done it myself for artists back in the day that I was really fascinated with, and now I listen, I go, yeah, he was alright, but it was.
Blame these listeners that are making them popular, man. You got to blame the listeners too.
Yeah.
So what y'all are saying, because all y'all making some real good points, but like y'all talking about an authentic artist versus a created, manufactured image in a package.
Right.
And everybody not in it for the same reasons.
Right.
I had to learn that too, because I was like, man, because like when Keisto was talking about the ciphers, that's how I came up.
Exactly.
It was just about it with no cameras, nothing. It was just about it's 10 or 12 of us in the room.
Yeah.
And there's a few people crowded around, and we rapping for supremacy.
Right.
We want the people to go home saying, "Oh, he was the culprit."
He got down on him.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing.
And that made the culture right.
Yeah, I think that should translate to the stage performances too. In these days, the time that I hosted showcases, my theme to the artists always used to be, "Hey man, it's 15 or 20 of y'all going to perform tonight. Your job is to make sure that you are one of the however many that people are driving home talking about."
Right.
That's what you want. You want people to say, "Hey man, that dude, man, that guy had the green hat on, the green beanie on. He was going in." You don't want to get lost in that mix of everybody that sounds the same.
Right. And
so,
Kate, I don't mean
no, go ahead.
But on one of that point, I really want to say this. Less is more. If you're a new artist and you coming into a showcase, don't buy out 30 minutes. Get up there for one or two songs. You might do one. If that's one song hot enough and you give the right performance,
get the hell on.
But get on.
Yeah.
Don't stay up there and linger, and people don't even know your record.
When people get intoxicated by you come out on that first and everybody going crazy,
leave them like that.
You feel them fading,
right?
Because look, I do that now as a cat that been doing this 40 years.
Yep.
Man, I may have 20 minutes, 30 minutes lined up,
right?
But it's like, okay, I'm kind of eating on this 20,
right?
Let me get on up out of here,
Right.
Unless sometimes you may be contractually obligated to perform for 30 but in situations where you calling the shot, man, if you got them flipping and going crazy,
leave them just like that.
Sometimes it's like, hey, let me go on and get on down the road.
Leave them just like that.
What do you? This is what I want to ask you about, because we come from an era of pre-social media where any type of promotion or anything like that, it was straight guerrilla, groundwork. Poster get hung up,
word of mouth.
We hang it up. Albums and samplers get passed out, we pass them out. So now everything is done at the click of a mouse, sitting on your phone or sitting at your desktop. What do you incorporate both sides of that, or are you more social media?
See, I've had people that it's crazy. They still ask me for hard copies of CDs, and I think personally, that movement's dead.
Yeah.
But I think that for the artist's benefit, if you can sell it like that, you can sell it like that. You know what I'm saying? You can make you put some bread in your pocket. Yeah. But not many people are gonna put a CD in their car because everybody got Bluetooth.
Look, he says all over for me. No, but see, that's the perspective I want, because my view of it is that it depends on which. Let's go back to the Nas 21 Savage thing.
Right. There you go.
Whatever era you come from, those people are still going to be kind of on whatever they was on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you look at it from a standpoint like, okay, my view is I'm gonna play the game until it's really out of it, till it's dry. Because you gotta be aware. We ain't like, you know what? People going more digital these days.
Right.
I gotta make sure I'm in that world too. But you're right, man. Like, we just got through talking before y'all got here, but people, they ain't putting CD players in the new cars anymore.
QR codes.
Yeah.
I believe that's gonna be the new movement pretty soon. Like when I came out with my first Poster Child shirts, I had my cousin on the back of it, like right under the back of the collar. She put a QR code, so I had people that was rocking my shirts.
Wow.
They were like walking flyers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can scan that QR code and then pull the album up on all platforms.
Right.
So just like these the flyers they pass out in the clubs, a lot of them have QR codes now.
Right.
So I believe that's digital is the way to go, because the majority of the listeners is gonna buy the new stuff. I think they're younger crowds.
Right. Man, and I'm gonna tell you that, because that's a great point. What can the older generation see in that respect? How can we come together and learn? Because the older generation, a lot of times, we feel like it ain't nothing y'all can tell us. It ain't nothing y'all can, but that's not true.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So just where you broke that down, putting a QR code on the back of a shirt, now stuff that we ain't even thinking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it gotta be some way that like Jhiame said, we can come together and just kind of hash out whatever differences we might have,
right.
Need to
and
make
say,
a show together.
how can we
Right.
both get jewels from each other?
Yeah, right.
Because the truth of the matter, which the next phase of the conversation is, we fighting a common enemy.
Right.
We are not each other's enemy, one generation to another. It's these labels and these corporations that are manipulating us and benefiting off of our beef, just like with, go back to East Coast, West Coast, go back to any of that. They benefit off of the division, and they make all the money. They own all of the product, and we still left sitting looking crazy.
Right.
How can we bridge those gaps where y'all would be willing to teach us what y'all know, and then we can say, well, look, this is the guerrilla marketing we used to do, that still got a place.
Right.
I believe that if there's a few good hosts, some reputable hosts, somebody old school that anybody can think of that's just a reputable host for a show.
Yeah.
Right.
You get somebody new school that's been doing it, getting these new artists out there. I believe that if you have them come together for a show, you can both learn from each other, because you know what the new school guys gonna do. It's gonna be all about flashy, all about the camera, and the old school guys gonna show you that, hey, when you get that microphone before you start your set, make sure they know who you are before you start your set.
Right.
So,
Right.
So I believe that, man, it'd be a dangerous show had you have this artist represent new school, old school, new school, old school, and you had a lineup like that. I believe that just in the presentation in itself, we'll both learn from each other.
And also, let's not forget that this thing is competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. We got to get out some of the, the testosterone. And I try to, totally annihilate you on stage.
Come on. Yeah.
So it'll be a beautiful thing to where you can work out the testosterone, and we can do. Also be able to output, say, hey, what's up, baby? Hey, man, good show. Hey, man, I'm gonna give you some pointers, or you give me some pointers, or whatever. It's still a competition. That hip hop is still gonna be competitional, but at the same time, let's take the hate out of it and the killing out of it, and let's bring it back to the stage, and let's bring it back to the microphone, and see what you can do on that. It's easy for me to get this K and all that, but let's go and let's get this mic right here and annihilate me with that. Now, show me something. You young, you talking what you talking. Show me something. Then I'm gonna show you something, and then that way we can learn from each other. But we gotta keep hip hop still competitional, but in a friendly way. That's the way we work it out. You feel?
So when a new
righteous competition.
Right.
So when like a millennial come to you, do youngsters come to you and ask you for advice in production?
That's why I said it's some young cats, man. There's true millennials that have surprised me, and they come up because for one while they said, what they said. But we know right now in drill, if y'all not familiar, in drill music, the number one group in drill music is Peter Boss. Okay. And those cats is from England, and they 74 and 85
years old.
Yes, sir. You feel me? Blow your mind. They cold. They lyrics way colder than anybody. I promise.
In drill rap?
In that drill rap type style. Yes, sir.
I think I might have seen that on a reel, on the Instagram reel. I think I seen that.
One, 14 million, 50 million views. Yeah. They do arenas, and the whole place loses. They know all their words. So we know that now you can X that age thing, because music ain't never been about age. Matter of fact, age made you better.
That's right.
So
that's what I was saying.
So Jhiame Brown got better. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about what we doing here, it's been put into a clown stage, and we gotta take it out the clown stage, man.
It's a circus for real.
Yeah, it's a circus. So we gotta take it out of there.
Do you think that what part, I want to ask you this, what part do you think that the industry plays in that too? Because what happens is that you see all these rappers, young rappers, that have gotten killed in the last few years. A lot of the rappers are getting murdered, losing their life.
Right.
But also we talked about this on another episode, how these record labels, they take out insurance policies on these artists.
Oh yeah.
So they already are kind of in anticipation that something like this may happen based on the type of rap they doing, based on the environment that they come from. How do we educate the young? Because it ain't like back in the days so much where we had gangster rappers, but a lot of them dudes were studio gangsters.
Yeah.
These dudes out here doing it.
Right.
A lot of them out here really doing it. So what role do you think the industry plays in that, and how can we educate these 22, 23-year-old brothers who out there murdering each other, man, and encourage them to save their own life.
It's to the point now. You got, the word I believe, the book I believe in, got to fulfill itself, and it's doing it every day. There is nothing that me, you, and 1,000 people can do right now to redirect wrong from right, right from wrong. All we can do is make sure we contribute to not being the part of of that. But as of right now, they on autopilot. And just like crack cocaine, I'm a victim. I've also sold it, and I was a victim of, not making myself a victim of, using it, and now I'm 34 years clean. But it's just like that. At one time, we had everybody on this thing. Not everybody, but you know what I mean.
Nah, yeah, I know that.
And then they killed themselves out of it, faded out of it changed over. So it ain't so as bad as it was. That's the only thing we can do on this particular thing. It's gonna have to ride itself out, because right now they killing themselves. I ain't talking about just guns. I'm talking about the words they saying, getting them 80 years. Mm-hmm. So until when you start, as you seeing more and more happen, you seeing more and more of the millennials coming and saying, man, I don't even want to be around that kind of, I'm gonna come over here with the OGs. Right. And you seeing more and more, like, it's gonna work itself out. Put it that way.
The terminology is crazy now. Right. Demon time. They smoking the dead.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Turning people into.
Don't forget what. But let's be fair. Don't forget we flipped our grandparents out. I promise you. When I walked in there with an earring in my nose, on cocaine, we flipped our grandparents out.
That's what I'm saying.
So
we can't just body slam the young people, because we can all see. Sometimes our life pulls us further removed from the same things we used to do, but just in a different way.
Right.
And so we like, oh man, look at them now. It's like, well, man, y'all used to do. It wasn't what we did, but it was something.
Yeah.
So that's why that gap got to be bridged, and we got to not lose sight and become self-righteous.
Right.
As older people and as artists, we got to link up. We got to link up. I believe we can save those youngsters, but they got to know that it's somebody out there that actually care, because they coming from environments where they don't have no hope.
Right. I mean, of course we can help save them, the few that want to be saved. But once people have made up their mind that this is what they are, and you try to, sometimes it can be a bad situation come just by you trying to show them. In our day it wasn't, OG tried to show you something. They did us.
You wouldn't listen.
Yeah, you had to.
Even if you knew, I'm going to still go do it anyway.
That's the difference. You had to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now it's more like they on autopilot, and all I can do is say, hey man, do your thing, but know that there is a price to everything. So once you do your thing, that's what it is. The price that you're gonna pay is gonna be what it is, and you see it every day. You see the price that we paying every day on some rapper, some young rapper losing their life. And I'm a granddaddy, so I'm gonna have some of that. Man, you see this fool? Yeah. Cause some of this stuff is amazing. I done seen some. I done seen some weird stuff that's happening that it's amazing. Yeah. I have to pray and say, Lord, keep me sane from seeing all this weird, I ain't talking about on no special, sexual. I'm talking about just weird things that us, I often say it like this. Why we doing all these white folk stuff? You know what I'm saying? But I often say it like that because some of this stuff is really weird that young black men and young black ladies
and all the drugs they're getting into.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing that.
But you know what's crazy about the old school needing to accept what the new school is doing is like last week I found myself sometime there was this group of these young kids, they were smoking some weed, they was cussing. I was going to the mall to buy some shit. Mm-hmm. And, they had to be 17, 16. Mm-hmm. But y'all got to think the old school. Like, remember how y'all mind was when y'all 16, 17? Y'all didn't give a damn who who was around paying attention to what y'all was doing, y'all was outside. Y'all was outside with it.
But on one thing we did do, we cartel what we did. Like now it's they don't cartel it. They don't like they can come around you and straight. Look at that. We didn't do it like that because this is what we dropped the ball too. Back in the day, OGs snatch you up. They didn't play no games. Hey man, what you doing? Take your butt to school.
There's too many cameras out now.
It was so much. But they was on us. They wasn't. I'm telling you, I was born in '65.
Yeah.
They didn't play with us.
But you gotta look at it like this. That's when we came outside.
Yeah.
A lot of generation these days don't even come outside like
that. Too.
Most of the time the internet is the outside.
That too.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't really snatch something off when they can just and get rid of you that quick.
I can't stand
talk about you like this.
Yeah, black, you ain't agreeing with me.
I can't stand to see a young man cursing out in front of your older women, like, you know, because I was born and raised in that way. And I actually have had to take a stand and say, man, look, bro, I know you packing whatever. I get real close to you when I talk to you on that level. Because you move wrong, that's what it is. But I'm just saying, hey, man, you got to, not in front of these older people. Some of this need to be done, and a lot of us scared. We like, and you know, we scared, and that's what they know. As a lady once said, the teachers scared of the principal scared of the this, and the parents scared, the principal scared of the parents scared of the kids, and the kids ain't scared of nobody. You see what I'm saying? So we got to start being, you know, them men that, hey man, you know, certain stuff, man, just don't let that fly. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way we can get through the people.
So just like in rap, where we say, okay, well, the OGs need to kind of come along and grab a hold of the situation. Right. What about that as it relates with it? I think the root of it is the breakdown of the family structure.
Oh yeah, that's
because the behavior patterns are based on the fact that it hasn't been any discipline instilled in a lot of our young brothers because of how the system set it up. It's like, okay, you know what? We're gonna lock daddy up. We're gonna put mother in a position of power and authority over the house, and now the child rebels because the child is feeling pain, feeling hurt that they're not able to properly outlet. So now it's coming out in different ways. Right. So what do y'all speak on that aspect of it? Because to me, it's all tied, it's all connected to music.
Yeah, you're right.
Because your behavior, they say art imitates life, you know, and life imitates art. That's all it is. It's like, man, some of us have been able to speak about our struggle, but all these youngsters ain't out here rapping, so they gonna act out and lash out in a different kind of way.
Right.
How y'all see that?
I mean, we all know.
Family.
We all know that. We all know that. Like the family structure been, been tampered with from the '70s on up. It's just we have to realize that, man, that right now, you know, I honestly understand that right now, right is wrong, wrong is right, and we can't just automatically reverse it. It was already stated that's what was gonna happen. I didn't think I was gonna be here when right became wrong and wrong became right. Yeah. So I'm just understanding right now, this nation need a healing. Definitely need to stay in prayer and fast. And when this nation need a healing, when we dealing with this type of situation, because we can't just go in there and make it happen. Just ain't gonna be overnight. Only thing we can do is say, okay, we can preach more about family unity, but what's happening now that I'm proud of, okay, when I look at the Instagram and certain things, I see young ladies just really kind of waking up and saying, hey man, we got Cardi B and Megan teaching us how to be, but they married and got boyfriends and long-term relationships. Yeah. So now that they starting to wake up, especially the sisters, because you know they the queen of the land. Absolutely. So they the first beginning. So when now that I'm able to watch them and seeing them kind of waking up to what's going on, that's gonna help support us. Cause right now, what we say, the media done made us a joke. You know, they got jokes, commercials about the daddy. He being pranked on and joked on. So now the media done made us a joke. So we're going to take the sister stand up and say, no, I would not have my son lingering out here without a male guidance or somebody, whether it be his uncle or man, whatever. You got to have some kind of male guidance within the household. And once the sisters continue to work on that, then we'll be able to really make a difference with these youngsters, because they not listening to us.
Yeah, because we talking about bridging the gap between the old school and new school.
Right.
To your point, we got to bridge that gap between the genders.
Right.
Because there's so much warring between
us,
the black man and the black woman,
right,
that if we don't fix that,
that's
right, when we really are. We be in trouble on that.
That's the main issue.
Speak to that real quick, post on that level in terms of what role does the gender wars play, even just in society, but even in hip hop and the rap game.
I think that it's both sides. Neither side really respects each other. Mm-hmm. You know, since the beginning of the time, you know how man is. We got testosterone. We've been the head of the household. Yeah. But now there's a lot of independent women, you know what I'm saying, they can bring their bread in too. Mm-hmm. And they're not gonna stand for somebody just having so much control over them. So I think that once we learn to understand that we both need each other, because there's so many women that's like, man, I don't need no man, blah blah blah. No, there's roles like the child that's affected needs both his mom. She needs both her mom and her dad.
Yeah, he come from both of them.
So from both of us. No matter who really carried them, because when she's making a sacrifice to carry that child, a real man's making a sacrifice to make sure that bread's coming in, making sure she's comfortable. Mm-hmm. So once we learn that we both need each other, instead of who is more significant than the other one, right, that's we're gonna continue to be
and again, that's a government systemic construct that has been intentionally devised by this system to divide the male against the female, right, to incarcerate the male and leave the female out here to do that job by herself. Right. So when she gets that position, when she gets that good job, and the brother come home, he got a felony, he can't hardly get on at McDonald's nowhere, so it creates that division. Right. So all of this, we have to teach the history of it and recognize that it's systemic, because the breaking up of our family is the demise of us as a people.
Right.
So that's a good point, that we gotta understand that we need each other. Right. Like you said, we can't never ever have this mentality for a man to say he don't need a woman is like him saying he don't need his mama.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And vice versa, for a woman to say that she don't need a man, because we come from each other.
Ain't no real man I ever known that I hang with ever said he don't need no woman. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And no real woman is gonna say that she don't need a man. A real woman, she not gonna say that.
That's the point. And it's some sisters came on one time before and they said, don't nobody say that but us. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mother women don't say that.
No other nationality.
Yeah, don't nobody.
That's why I said it's a systemic construct.
Right.
It's intentionally done that way, because when people understand who the original people are, who the real power in this universe is, and you have individuals who are trying to steal that birthright, then they have to degenerate us and bring down and remove our identity the best way they can. Now our self-esteem is all jacked up. Now we don't look at each other the same way. Now we at war with each other.
Right.
That ain't no accident, bro.
Right. Oh yeah, it's constructed.
It's that crabs in the bucket right there.
It's constructed. And you know what they did? They used the feminists, the WOW, come in and get them away from the civil rights movement and all the other things we was doing together.
It's always been the hustle.
So it's always been that hustle. But what we dealing with right now, not only is that, we dealing with the emotions. A lot of people say, okay, he's a shooter, he's gangster. No, it's not gangster, because he's emotional. That's an emotional thing. You're not strong. Okay, you're weak. and you think they're strong, but that's not strong. That's weak. You know, you like a female, and we understand why a female have hormonal, emotional things. Yeah. We accept that because that's what a female supposed to be like. But when you a male and you get somebody talk about you and you think you supposed to go get a cake, something wrong with you. You know, that's emotional. And that's not a man thing.
No self-control.
It's not a man trait.
It's not a man trait at all. A man, the strongest men I know was calm, cool, and collected. Yeah. And a lot of them got away with it. You see what I'm saying? And God saves. But that's it. You know, I once ran into a Millennium Cat. He was talking, man, I ain't no friendly dude. I said, man, I just speak to you, but I said, I am. I said, that's how I got away with it. Mm-hmm. You understand? You gotta know when to smile, know when to chill. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, so anything that we need to do now is really strengthen these young men to build back up, to have men traits. Because they trying to show you right now how to not be a man. They trying to show you how to be something else. So let's have these men traits. It don't matter about your sexual preferences. You can still be whatever you doing, that's you, but you still should have a man trait where you have self-control and understand that everything, the world ain't ending. It's you right here. And realize that what you saying on this record now is getting you recos. Remember that. And they right here listening. So
and
they can get some of us
you
too.
said that too. I got a song where I say he got a pistol on him, plus in his trunk a machine gun.
Right.
It's hard to learn to be a man if you've never seen one.
See what I'm
So
saying?
that
Awesome.
we got to step in them gaps when you see a young brother in the neighborhood. Okay, it's just him and his mama. Okay, I saw him talking back to his mama. You got to know how to strategically step in them gaps.
Right. On the cool.
Because it's a pain that our young brothers have that's making them lash out, and so they set up a defense. It's a wall. So like when the brother told you he ain't friendly, it ain't that he ain't friendly. He just like he putting this wall up immediately to let you know don't try nothing, even though your intentions was not even do nothing like that. But to segue into something that you touched on that I wanted to go into, I want to talk about in hip hop, where it translates over to hip hop, but it starts again on that systemic level, the feminization of our young men. That intentional feminization. So now we see a lot of these brothers, and what they do, they'll put a lot of our big name artists up front in a feminine position, wearing a dress, wearing a makeup.
Well, you saw that movement. That movement got dissolved. I was so amazed and happy that movement got dissolved, because at first they were starting to get on covers and everything.
You think it got dissolved?
Well, let me say this.
Oh no, I think it's still popping.
Let me say this.
He got locked up for Rico.
Let me say this. The most cats that was really pushing that agenda, if it didn't get it dissolved, guess what happened? Those cats are not pushing it no more, because it was a disappointing sales on that album and show he had to postpone shows because when he first wore that dress. You know what I'm talking about? Same person you talking about. So it's the ones that wearing a dress now maybe ought to be in a dress. You know what I'm saying? The ones they was actually trying to push us, people like us. You know, when you see LeBron walk up with a purse, they were trying to push people like us to do that. And so your other boy called it a kilt. And them Scotland people got right on him. Wasn't no kilt. That ain't no kilt. That's religious for us. So you don't do that. So it got dissolved because that clothing line almost broken. That clothing line almost broken.
Well, if we name in one particular instance, but in terms of just the whole, I believe that agenda is still
they pushing it.
Exists
They definitely
there's a narrative to it for sure. Like you look at all these artists now, like you know what I'm saying. You see them getting clear fingernail polish. You see them getting makeup before they go in and do their set. The clothes are getting tighter and tighter. And then you know what I'm saying. back in 7th grade, you know what I'm saying? Like guys my age, we was rocking 3XTs. I don't know what the hell we was doing that for.
Yeah.
You know, we was sagging a little bit, but now they got the skinny jeans right their ass with the belt around
They
there.
came out with the hoochie daddy shorts.
Oh, bro,
They got hoochie daddy shorts.
that right there was so terrible.
Say, man.
The rumpers. The rumpers.
That's the name of it.
I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
But that's so terrible. But it's like you say, like you say, they got their agenda, they got what they doing, but at the end of the day, man, we men and we know what we are and whatever the situation. But I'm just trying to tell y'all, the movement is gonna continue to try to go on. But I was really upset when they was really trying to really push that agenda heavy on hip hop. And now, you got all type of hip hop artists, which is cool. But at the same time, you know the agenda, you know what they doing. And on another note, there's new lines of jeans now that they ain't making tight like that. You can go in the store. One wife couldn't go in the store and find none.
Yeah.
Now they making looser jeans and some of the ladies are wearing looser jeans. That's the modern.
The 90s almost coming back.
Yeah, they're giving the 90s. I don't know if you seen Wayne lately with the big pants and stuff like that. So they steady transforming and seeing that the 90s was the hot time, and you got shows like Power and all them kind of showing the night. So it's giving them a little more like, man, I'm gonna get back to So I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of cats cut their dreads and go into some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing a lot of change, even though it was at first, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, it was going off. It wasn't no changes. It was actually going that way, period. You couldn't even go to the mall and find none unless it was rainbow.
It was tight.
I went to Atlanta, man, everything in the mall was rainbow. I swear to God, I'm sorry. Everything, and I ain't got no problem with rainbow. I'm saying, but I don't like wearing the rainbow color for no reason. It ain't nothing to do with the community. It got to do with I don't like that type of look on me. Like I don't like pink. So I want to go in the mall and find some and everything like this.
Ain't that wrong with being a traditional man? They trying to delete the traditional man right now. Like, and I think even with the women's empowerment right now, I could say I'm a feminist to an extent because I believe women are just as powerful as we are. They can get anything they want. But I'm just saying that they trying to delete the traditional man.
But I would say the tradition, the black man. That's where I go. I feel like it's that old public enemy, the fear of Black Planet, because it is such an agenda to push that on our young brother. Like when they talk about different ways of a genocide to be carried out. We know about the straight up killing. We know about the chemical warfare through food and we know about the drugs and all that, but also through that feminization is another way to enact genocide on us, because if too many of us take to that mindset, then we're not reproducing. We're not repopulating the planet the way that we should be. So all those are great points, and
I want to just say one thing on this. First of all, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at a point now. It ain't even got to be done. They not doing nothing no more. We on autopilot.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I really look at it like that. I don't put somebody doing something. It's the other people in Hollywood where they can kind of shut you down on that end, but. As far as the they don't have to do nothing no more. We on autopilot, and we definitely doing that. And part of the problem with the female, I feel like on the female situation, is they already believe enough that they can do it all by themselves. They already believe that. So I don't think a woman should or can do everything. Because if I get these we take this 300 pounds and we might have one woman out of this whole country that can try to pick it up. So we don't want to continue to promote to them that they can do it all without us.
Well, the role of man and woman, in particular with woman,
we got
her role has been made to look to her like it's bad.
Right.
Like if you say play a role, then for some, not always, some women understand it, but most will say, "What you mean my role?"
Yeah, put them down here.
Yeah, and it's not I'm not being disrespectful, sisters. It's like,
But you
I
have a role, though.
and you have a role.
But they'll tell you you got a role.
And there are things that she can do that I can't do.
Right.
Because it's not my role to do.
It's not my role.
And the way the creator set it up, we have to, don't get mad at me taking up with the creator.
Right,
you
right.
know, but,
we have a certain role.
But society done made us feel like that's gonna be something that brings us at odds,
Right.
and they did it. They see all this stuff. See, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy revealer. If a conspiracy is a real thing, if it's a real thing,
it's a real thing. Yep.
So you'll hear me use the word, "Oh man, this is by design. This is systemic," because a lot of it is.
It's
you know,
true.
but going all the way back to the beginning of this conversation, we talked about rap and the young rappers versus the old rappers. It's all about knowing the history of why we like this.
Right.
Because what you said is a fact. We are on autopilot right now. But somebody got to come along and change the channel, put us on a different frequency. And what normally does that is the learning of history and how. See, we'll look at where we at and we'll be getting into it because of where we at instead of looking at how we got to where we
Right.
you know, and I think that's the big thing we got to factor in.
It was something you hit on. I want to hit on because I seen something. It's amazing. I seen this today, and it was about the dude said. She said, "Sometimes you want your baby to make you a sandwich. Yeah, I'll fix that a sandwich. You tell her what, fix that a sandwich." And she said, they clapped her. Oh, he said, "Okay, no, okay." He said, "Now check this out. When we go out and somebody say, a dude come up and say something smart to you, you don't want me to what? Slap him in the mouth, you know? And say, if I go to the dinner, take you to dinner, you gonna want me, and I go, yeah, we gonna have to go Dutch. You gonna say, no, that ain't what a man supposed to do."
Right.
Okay, when I if I say, go to the car to open the door, and don't open the door, you gonna say, "Hey, open that door." Well, okay, fix that a sandwich.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I got from that is, I can fix my own sandwich, right? But if I got you with me, I know you gonna fix it like my mama fix it with love. So that means a lot to me. So a lot of stuff that is your role is also what keeps y'all in tune. And you feel special that you didn't fix nobody else no sandwich, but you fixed daddy a sandwich. So that it's a role. Everybody got a role that they need to play.
Still making somebody
feel right. My grandma used to say when she'd get me to go out there and pick up some big rocks, right? And she said, "Oh, look at that strong boy, I'm about to die." Just to impress my grandma picking up this rock. So a lot of times sister just will motivate us, and we motivate them back, and it ought to be you ought to be happy that I don't want this person to fix me a sandwich. I want you to fix me a sandwich.
Wow. So you know how to cut the edges off your bread.
All
You
that.
put just the right amount
It's
of
love in that sandwich.
mayo on there.
It might be a bologna sandwich, the way you cook, way you fix that sandwich.
And the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I never thought about
so
that.
they make you go to work and really work for them. They don't get it.
But that's
The sweetness is what's gonna make us the lines that we are tame us down to be that person towards you that you want to be. Out here on another person. When I come in here, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we got.
I heard a
understand
sister talk about this one time, and she was really speaking in terms of just trying to educate other women on this thought process. And she was telling other women, she said, "There's power in submission. Submission is not a bad word. There's power in submission, knowing how to push certain buttons in a man because the world beat him up enough outside.
Yeah.
So when he come home, he don't want to have World War II. He already had World War I outside. Right. So to know how to console him and treat him and unlock.
It's art of a woman.
It's an art, and it's a trait that God put in them
automatically.
And so they unlock that.
Right.
And now what happens is when you unlock that through that power of submission, then it unlocks what the God put in.
Right.
It turns out how He treats.
Right.
We'll do a whole episode on that. That's what people have to say.
That's so
That's some real wisdom right there.
It's a lot of. It was another sister came on one time. She was talking about how she used to be real toxic. All she thought the way to do it, because she seen her mom and dad them do it. That's the way to keep him around. She said she found out really that it wasn't that, and once she got out the toxic mindset, she was able to reel her husband back in, and he wanted to stay up under, and they so happy they don't know what to do. But that's I commend any person who can change and love a person enough to change, to redirect their ways, especially when it's really not lining up to righteous. You lining up really to demonic spirits that's taking over your mind and making you think you're crazy and making you think all kind of stuff and confusing you. Instead of intoxicating, it becomes your way of life. But once you calm down, like I had to do in life, and calm down, and now, it don't be an argument, it's a discussion. And we may not agree, but when we leave there, we kiss. That's what we want. We don't want this same old. Because as you can see, you turn on the news, you see somebody dead every day in domestic violence and murders, wives and husbands. You see it in the black community because we're living on a toxic dime.
And here at the Underground Dialogue, see, we ain't gonna always agree either, but there ain't gonna be no kissing at the end.
No, I don't kiss. But look at this here. Now, how important is that? Because what I got from you is that you grew this from time and wisdom. Now, if we bring this back to the new school and the old school, trying to bridge that gap, how important is it for the old school to be visited to drop that wisdom into the new school? They don't have that yet.
I hate that we got this bag though. I wanted to be on the other place and tell them I'm really upset. I hate that we got that bag because there's a lot of us OGs who have actually tried to talk. But if you to these youngsters, but if they making $100,000 a year on YouTube and you making zilch, they automatically think you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I got a whooping when I was little for cussing out an old drunk. I thought because he was considered the lowest, I could say what I want. My grandma told my butt up. And then they gave me the story about this man passing, who he really was.
Come on.
He was one of the top-notch, engineers and architects. And wife left him for his brother and married his brother, and he flipped out. Also, he was in the army, Vietnam, so he was already not too close. He already didn't take much. Right. But just knowing that, and one day I was able to talk to him again, and he gave me so much knowledge, it was ridiculous. So just because a person ain't where you at financially, or got what you got, sometimes that person that lost it can tell you how to keep it.
Come on, man.
Wow.
See, and that's again speaking to not looking at where we are, but looking at how we got there,
right?
And where we came from, because there's so much wisdom in that, and even with the younger generation, like when you was talking about the QR codes on the back of the T-shirt,
right.
Like it's so many things I see these young people do, and you say, well, man, okay, it ain't about signing a record deal no more,
right?
Because you just say young cat making $100,000 a year on YouTube, some making more than that. Right. These are regular brothers and sisters who just, let me try this.
Right.
And so I think in that aspect, it's a lot that us as an older generation can learn from them in that regard, to say, well, man, hold on, youngster, how'd you do this? How'd you, to be able to, if we want to maintain in this game, to surround ourselves with young, energetic, intelligent people that can say, even if they laughing at us, nah, school, nah, we don't do it like that. Let me show you how to shortcut that.
I think right now this is a platform for that, in a sense, to bridge the gap between young and old podcasts. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of people like myself in the morning. I don't really listen to music on the way to work. I might listen to Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Right.
So there's a lot of things that the old school need to learn about these platforms now. Yeah. And that's the best way to get y'all's message out. And to talk some good game to some of these lost youngsters, man. like right here.
I'm gonna say this. I'm so glad my old 57 Savage, but been on Spotify, been on YouTube, been on Instagram. I know how to roll. You know what I'm saying? So I talked to a lot of OGs. They be on some like, man, 1 cent out. Man, you gotta understand the mathematics and how it works. And what else? It's other monies come from that. Not just worried about the streams. You got shows, money, and everything once your streams are up and everything. So you have to get. You come on, man. We not dinosaurs. We used to laugh at our granddad and them when they got mad about CD players and they killed the 8-track. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, man. This is where it is. You got to put your music out there on the platforms. And I'm on Deezer and all that. Yeah. So it's not missing from us, because a lot of us know. Get on that platform.
Kwame Brown's a perfect example of seeing that the world loves attention. Yeah. And you see how he did Matt Barnes, right?
He parlayed that into a whole
podcast.
That's great. We was talking off camera about the streaming thing that you said, and I was saying the same thing. So you just gave me some game,
right?
Because I was saying, man, you get 1 million streams, you make $3,000 if you're lucky. And that's true. Yeah. And I still believe that it needs to be some kind of legislation to fix that, because they making billions off of that. But what you said makes sense, because sometimes the popularity will bring you another arena.
It's so many other monies. I just found out from my royalty friends who was out to get my money. He just showed me where instead of me making one check for stuff like knocking pictures off wild diamonds on your face, some of the other hits I have, instead of me making one check, I should have been giving 3 to 4 checks.
Yeah.
So I gotta go back and get all of them.
Right.
So when it comes to I ain't worried about retirement, but when it comes to the music, that's stop. And music is so lovely because you get money from so many avenues. Forget about it, because Drake ain't tripping on the 3 points or whatever, because he getting about 10 million a month all streams. Let's focus on getting them streams up so we can get the other monies that comes along with that. You know what I'm saying? We can get the other. It's so many, man. It's so many checks, man. It's ridiculous. It's not just one thing.
That's a formula, man.
Right.
For me, that needs to be taught. The way you laid that out.
If I get $5,000 a month streaming, right? You think I'm worried about that 3 point? Because I know I've got shows over here. And now I'm all of a sudden about to do commercials. Now I'm about to do other stuff. My music getting picked for this now. It's getting picked for that now. So it's getting money from all it's so many places. Right. So it ain't, man, let me tell you something. You don't know half of how much these cats are worth, because they get money from so many places. All because of streaming. Let's not talk about the Nas X fellas that was sleeping on the couch, and 5 days later he worth $5.6 million because of one song. You don't know what might happen to a man, or we want our reparations. It might be a corporation or a big time letter place. They say, man, we want to use this song for this. Then your streams go up, and we each getting $10,000 a month off the stream.
Let me ask you this before I forget, Jhiame, and I want Poster to jump in this too, because one thing that we didn't do and learn as when we were young artists, all the stuff that the game you giving out, we didn't know about publishing. And if we did know about it, we wouldn't just own it heavy. And it's a lot of young artists don't know about you, but I see a lot of these younger artists, y'all be more on top of y'all business from the beginning, because y'all kind of come in as a brand, where we kind of had to develop into that understanding as a brand. What do you think, how we can help each other in terms of like teaching them from bumping their head the way we did, and what can y'all teach in terms of like, look, this is what y'all need to know now, because we came in the game kind of already on. I'll let each one of y'all.
I just want to put this in there. I got to exclude myself from the publishing thing, Cause I had my publishing
You was ahead of the
company
game.
at 18 years old.
Man.
My publishing company was called Formula Success. I've been in the
I wish I
game
did.
professionally over 37 years,
Yeah.
and I've been having my publishing company longer than I've been professionally in the game. Because I come from Memphis. My daddy worked with Stax Record, Al Green. He told me what not to do because he done messed this, he messed this
Right.
situation up. So he said, copyright your music and publish it. I cut yards or whatever I had to do to be able to get my publishing company established in my yard, my copyrights. And they was pretty, $30 every song, so it would cost me. But don't forget, I'm the one that told everybody else about the publishing over there at Rapper Line.
Yeah.
So when I already knew, that you get 5 cents at the time. We was getting 5 cents for spins per spin. Now it done probably went up, down, whatever. Cause this is stock.
Right.
So I already knew 15 cents for videos. People look at that. I used to explain it to them, and they'll say 5 cents. That ain't no money. Just like they talk about streaming.
Right.
No, bro. If every market is paying them 5 cents,
Exactly.
You're in heavy
all
rotation.
stores. All stores.
Right.
That's why they got the Distro Kid, and that's why they got TuneCore. See, I distribute through TuneCore, and it's like a partnership publishing with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they make plenty of money on the back end from you using them. But it's like this: when you distribute that, it distributes it to every store, and then and it monetizes everything.
Right.
well, it's cool to go through TuneCore for the stores or whatever. But I would go with a classic, a company that's been in publishing for eons, and that's either BMI, ASCAP. That's who gonna handle my publishing.
And I've heard about BMI.
But I would not go with
So one of y'all are talking about publishing. You talking more so about like streams and downloads.
No,
and all
he
that?
talking
You
about
publishing.
they do it.
They do it. They got like a partnership.
Right, partnership.
TuneCore got that.
So they get a piece of your money that
And
they deserve.
they take some of it too.
Yeah, so you don't, that right there, you don't intertwine that.
Right.
You let that check come from another place, you
Right.
keep up with it. You let that TuneCore check for the swings come in for that.
No.
Because you don't want to, that's how they get you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to commit yourself to nothing, and then they also be part of the ownership of your masters. And that's unacceptable. That's a no-no. Only time you do that is they paying enough for it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Poster.
For a piece of it. Yeah.
How difficult? How long you been in the game?
Yes.
Not as art, but not as creating music, but business.
professional.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say the past 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Have it been hard? How hard have it been for you, if at all, to kind of just make your way in it? Because we come from a time where it wasn't a handful of people trying to do this.
It's
Everybody do it now.
It's tough because, like I said earlier, anybody that thinks they can rhyme, and then they're more or less social media entertainers, and then they get out here and they try to get on the stage to get everybody to come out here and support them and all that, but they're not really artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of rappers.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of artists.
Right.
So, and like I say, for my sake, I'm in competition with everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
If I go and try to word of mouth, it's the old school way, tell people, hey, I'm a hip hop artist, blah blah. Oh, okay, that's nothing new to me.
Right.
Everybody, I've met 5-6 people today that told
People
me that.
numb to that.
I've worked for Team Industry on the plants, and I've done things like rhymes for the safety meet,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and up until I actually do a live presentation, I tell everybody, hey man, I'm coming out with albums this and this. Oh, that's cool.
Ain't nothing.
It ain't that
They
special
know.
until they see you,
Right.
or until they got it in their hand, or until everybody's talking about it. It's tough.
Right.
How history repeats
Right.
itself.
It's tough.
Because when I was telling people I was gonna make a record in Acres Home, Houston, Texas, they said, "How you gonna do that? You better go to LA, go to New York."
Right, yeah.
In '85, so it 83, 84. I mean, so when I did finally come with the 45
Right.
and put it on, they were like, "Wow!" They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So it's now when you said something about music in Houston, it didn't ring nothing. Now usually in Memphis say, "Hey man, I'm finna do this album." For real, like they be excited because they know it happens.
Right.
But in Houston, if you didn't.
It wasn't nothing
music.
popping. Shameless
about
plug.
no rap.
I talked about that in my first book.
Yeah.
Talking about how when I was rapping in the bathroom, was battle rapping cats in school in the bathroom.
Right.
Dude walk in, man, I'm trying to take a piss, man. Y'all
Right.
He said, rap ain't gonna even be around in 3 or 4
I
years.
heard that too.
They said it all the time. This is the 80s. Rap ain't gonna even be around in 3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
they hated it.
And here we are 40 years later.
Yeah.
And some of the same people that were saying that now they doing it.
Yeah, now they doing it. They
So
involved.
it's just how they looked at it like, oh, okay, that's what needed to be done, and
Right.
for us to get involved in this thing too.
Right.
So what's something that you see that your generation and the younger may do that we don't do, that y'all look and say, man, if them cats are doing that, they'll be on a different level. What just one flaw you see in us, and then I'll let you give a flaw before we wrap up.
A flaw that I see in y'all is
In him.
Yeah, me.
okay. Damn, K-Rino, man. I done been on the same ticket with you, man. I shake your hand. I understand you shake a lot of hands, man. Big respect to you, man.
Yeah, he said the hole in the hole.
No, you just joking.
Nah, but I love what you
You
do
like the
specifically.
Mexican.
I want to shoot your home for a little bit. I love what you do specifically because I done seen you with no music in the background, did shit. I done seen freestyles.
Right.
And then a lot of these new cats, they don't have that in them. I done seen the freshman ciphers and shit like that, and it's just ain't it. But I think that a lot of the old school cats, they don't. I mean, now it's about being.
Don't say it, man.
It's about being saucy, about being lit. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of like lyricism. Me, I declare myself a lyrical artist. My fans will say the same thing, and they tell me, "Hey, you need to go to other states." Because down here, they don't care. You know, we got Atlanta, we got Houston. It's this drill rap.
Yeah.
It's about the next hot thing. But your music is timeless. And there's a lot of timeless artists that you just need to find where you pop the most. So, but I do believe that some of the beat selections that these old school artists, if y'all want respect from the new generation, it ain't necessarily what y'all are saying on the track. Because there's a lot of these new guys that don't say shit. But it's more or less the style of these beats. The style of these beats. If you can get down these new beats, it don't matter, man. If you got a catchy hook and you got these youngsters moving, they don't give a damn what you said on the verse.
Right.
You know, so I just think, you know, I'm not gonna say production, I'm gonna say the beats.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now what you see in them, a flaw that you see in the younger generation that you think you could give them some game on and help them get better too.
The whack ass beats.
So they both say the same thing. Our beats are trash.
They don't have
and the
no
young generation
Hold
is trash.
up, straight up.
No,
they
yeah.
don't have no substance. And for beats to last forever, it gotta have something to it that's better than a generated processor, or you sitting up with y'all putting it, now y'all drawing beats, just putting it on paper, looping and paste. That's nothing, and that don't last. So we could talk about the old school beats, but we just saw a group called Silk Sonic use the same old school music and had the biggest records, had the biggest, most awards ever, because people actually missing the type of music that we pick and we choose now. I got more young people asking me to do a funk track, even for commercials.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't say it on. I can say like some of the production that the old school had that was bad, but you know, overall we have the more timeless music. Whereas with their music, y'all songs last 10 minutes. You know, I ain't talking about you, but I'm saying the modern day artists' songs last 10 minutes because there's nothing else to hold them besides that hook you talking about. Right. Another thing, I don't think our way that we should change our way. I think we should push for our fans to get a chance to hear us like they used to be able to hear us, and we don't have that opportunity because we're not getting radio play or nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's where our problem is. It's not really, I don't think it's the production or the beats. I actually believe that there should be a time they play the youngest type styles and let them jam, and then throw some of us in there.
97.9 used to do that.
And it's not happening. So it ain't I just don't agree it's the beats. I think it's the closed-mindedness I agree with you on that. With the closed mindedness of not want to rejuvenate what you do or switch your game. Cause I seen a couple of songs where you done start like, you know what I'm saying, switching the game and more of a how can I say, a massive like some certain songs I can tell you that actually you done. I said K probably wouldn't have done that about this many times ago, but now he's, you know, going into that. Let me get that market right. So we have to do that. You know,
you gotta grow and still be
that's
you.
what we mess
you
up
gotta evolve and still remain yourself.
Closed mindedness.
Yeah.
And the young people, y'all mind too. You know, just to where you can't have a direction. And into everything you need a foundation, and I'm just hoping that 20 years from now we still playing Spot got him. You know, we still playing. You know what I'm saying? You know that, but it's not gonna happen because that it's not a longevity thing on that type of thing. You know, we had gangs too. We had a gang movement. You know, we had the when the NWA came, everybody want to be gang man. We had all that, so we can't say that we didn't have that. We done all that, but it was a foundation even to that, because even Young Man Millennium went to the NWA movie when he came out. He came back with the shirt. It was tight, but it was the NWA shirt with some tight jeans with some chucks. So I said, man, y'all actually had a movement. Like, even though they were cussing and talking gang stuff, they talking about real political problems. And it blew his mind. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, y'all wasn't just like us, just talking about some, y'all had an actual agenda, even though it was G. You know, so I think that's what we need to do. We need to open our mind as OGs, and the young people need to kind of see some of the things mixed. I would love to see a young H-Town artist, 20-some years old, bring back some of the elements of the hip-hop that we do, even the image, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some of the elements, and say, okay, man, my pants might be tight, but they creased. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I got a white t-shirt with a piece of chain. You know, it might look crazy, have different colors of the diamond, but hey, I'm doing H-Town today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think about how important it would be for the new school to start sampling some of the old school, like how y'all used to do when y'all was first coming up?
It's very important for my retirement. It's very. That's why they don't do it. Go to Surf City Hits and pick anything you want, and you can do it on the wheel. You ain't got to get no paperwork from me from off the jump. We'll do that later. Go on there and sample any one of my joints you want, and shouts out to Mona Leo and her producer. Keep on sampling. And
I mean, is that a good bridge to you?
Oh yeah, it's a perfect bridge for retirement. I'm trying to tell you.
He's speaking of business bridge. When you talk about this bridge, I totally understand what he's saying.
Get that bag.
Yes, Uncle K. Reno, he got some cold liver you would put through there.
Come on with it.
Don't do it all.
You're more than welcome.
Oh man,
take what you need.
Take what you need. Yeah. We'll talk later. Yeah. Mob style. Hey man, let's sit at the table.
But on the same token, that would bridge the gap.
And it would help us to help everybody.
When we sampled, a lot of times, or when we grew up listening to rap and heard samples, we didn't always know that it was a sample.
Right.
Until we heard the old school station and his original song.
And then now you want to hear
that's where he got that. That's where he got
that. Now you want to
hear
that artist. Now you want to go back and
you learn that history of who that guy was.
You want to do that.
All of it helps the whole, man. Post it. Let them know what you got going on your social media and all that before we get y'all out.
All right, hey, the social media. Follow your boy on IG. I pretty much post everything there. Just_poster91. You know, you can keep in contact with me about shows, merch, everything I got coming out, and I got an album I'm about to drop pretty soon. So I'm looking for somebody that can create a cover art for me. So y'all get at me.
Jhiame, what you got going on, my brother?
Right now, man, I got several things. I got a new album coming out, you know, called the Last Alpha Man Standing. And of course, you know, we pretty about to work on something called Amen. We want our reparations, man, K. And also, you can go check out my new being released next week, my new Southern Soul album, Eargasm Soul. Also working with Youngster with a new Knocking Pictures Off the Wall coming at you. Also I've got now. I'm doing some of what y'all doing. I'm also on the DJ. I mean, in the DJ, the MC booth with Miss Fox on Saturdays. You can catch us at Texas One-on-One Jams, the Foxy Lady Show. I'm like a part-time. Well, I'm the OG resident, she like to say. You can catch Fox and Lady B. Yeah, you can catch them on Texas One-on-One Jam, Fox and Lady Show on Saturdays 4 o'clock, and I'll be there doing that. And I'm just doing so many things. I got a movie I was in called Dude, Where's My Cup? And and you can get me on.
Shout out to the folk hero, man. With the clientele,
all of them. Skits, what's up? And I like to send a shout out to Trey Ward Youngster coming out. 29-year-old artist coming out. I got him. So we just doing all type of things right now. We're working with a lot of projects. We also got. You can also check me out on Facebook at Jhiame Bradshaw. That's Jhiame Jhiame Bradshaw. Jhiame Bradshaw. And you can also check me on Instagram, Jhiame Sinatra. That's SUC Jhiame Sinatra. Yeah, you know the one. And then also you can also go to my channel on YouTube, which called the Jhiame Bradshaw Show. So you can go see that and just check out my albums on Spotify and all that, from Memphis to Houston, all that, and Mama Side Piece and some other stuff. Shout out to DJ Cali and P Rod, City Boy P, and D Raider, and all the other people I'm working with, BAD, the artist, Handyman out there, and everybody, man. We just appreciate everybody. And if I forgot y'all, I didn't forget you, but I just don't have the time. So I just want y'all to know that I love y'all. I love H-Town, K-Reno. We go all the way back, little bro. And we gonna forever keep doing what we doing, little bro. And it's nothing but love,
man. It's 40 years of hard work and experience here, man. This brother been in the game longer than that. That's a blessing, man.
Yes, sir.
I advise you to Google this cat. Because he blew my mind the first time we interviewed him. Yeah. I didn't know all that stuff that he didn't know too. Man, this is an H-Town legend without a doubt.
I really appreciate it.
And if you ever get a chance to see him live, go see him live.
For real.
He moved better than some of these cats that's in their teens and 20s, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
That's amazing performer. Amazing artist, and I thank both of y'all for coming through, because this is a conversation that really we could have this conversation for 20 hours straight.
Really.
I think we got a lot in terms of just kind of helping to bridge that gap and educate us and the young generation on how we can come together and not let these forces in this industry divide us apart. Straight up, man. So once again, we thank y'all for tuning in to the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. It's your big brother K-Reno, along with my brother
Keystone
and my brother Jhiame Sinatra, poster child in the back.
Well, I'm so proud of y'all, man. We're gonna sit here with you and talk.
Man, it's your big brother K-Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volage. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volage, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all know what it is. Catch y'all later on.
Level legit clothes, so get used to people asking you, yo, where you get those? Say we wear Volage. We showing up. We wear Volage. Next brand blowing up. We wear Volage. Get yours, try it on. We wear Volage. World when you got it on. We wear Volage. The slogan we go by. The streets to the streets, we accommodate both sides. So many fresh styles attracted to your eyes. So we gon' put them on and let the whole world know why. We wear Volage. Get yours, try it on. We wear Volage.
Big Brother K Reno. And check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue podcast. All you gotta do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. And man, look, we got some merch that's just gonna blow y'all mind. It's gonna blow y'all. When y'all see the merch, y'all gonna be wanting to just dive through the screen.
We got some coming, baby, man. We building, man. We building. So watch that we grow.
Already.
I wonder if they ready. They ain't ready to have this conversation. Or these kind of conversations. But guess what? We gonna have them anyway. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deep